Yes, welcome back. Can someone please confirm if you can see my screen and hear my voice?
Yeah, everything is fine. We are hearing.
Okay, thanks. All right, so let's move, go back to so
Alon bhai,
we are yes, sure.
one thing that actually, sometimes some of the portion is very difficult to explain to you in English. So if I have any difficulties, some area, so that time actually I want to use my own in Bengali for more clarification and for more understanding.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to ask your question. There's no problem with that. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
no problem. All right, so let's move to today's topic, which is statement types, keyword, and operator. So first, let me give you some note here, and we'll follow this note for all our explanation. So let's talk about Java statement. So there are three types of statement in Java. One is called expression statement, declaration statement, and the third one is control flow statement. So in expression statement, there are no kinds. I'll give you the definition shortly. Let me write down the definition of expression statement. Assigned to a variable which evaluates a single value. And the declaration statement the definition of declaration statement is declare a variable by specifying its data type and name. And the control flow statement is conditionally so this I'm going to explain shortly, but these are the definitions of these three statements. And in control flow statement, there are three kinds of statements. One is called selection statement, another one is called a repetition statement, and the third one is called branching statement. So for the selection statement, we have three kinds. One is if then, and switch. Repetition. I can hear some noise. Can you please mute yourself? Right. For the repetition statement, we have for, while, and do while. And for the branching, we have break, continue, and return. So these are kind of branching statement, repetition statement, and selection statement. So before we understand this statement, we have to have clear idea about Java type. So there are two kinds of type in Java. One is primitive type, another one is reference type. So I will start with expression statement. But before that, I want to give you some knowledge about the Java type. So in primitive type, there are total 8 kind of primitive type in Java. So let me note it down here. One is called byte, and then the next one is called short, and then int, long, float, double, boolean, and char. So these are the primitive types in Java. So I will start with byte. Once again, our plan is to understand Java statement. We will start with the expression statement, and before that, I'm explaining what are Java types. And there are 2 types. One is primitive and one is reference. And there are 8 kinds of primitive types in Java programming language. So now let me write here more detail. What is the byte? The byte is 8-bit. Short is 16-bit. And int is 32-bit. Long is 64-bit. Float is 32-bit. Double is 64-bit. Boolean is 1-bit. And char is 16-bit. And the first 4, byte, short, int, and long, they're known as integer. And float is a floating point. And Boolean is either true or false. And the char is Unicode character. So let's begin with byte. What is byte in Java? So it's a primitive type. So if you want to declare a byte, the example will be, let me discuss it here. So the byte is a 8-bit. It will take 8-bit for from your computer memory. If you want to store a byte type, it will take exactly 8-bit from your memory location. So if you want to declare a byte in Java, you have to write byte followed by a variable name. Let's say we can tell it my byte by the actual value, which is let's say 10. So this is how we can declare a byte value in a Java programming language. So in this case, we are keeping the value 10 inside of my byte. So my byte is, you can call it variable. So what is variable? Variable is a name in which you can store a value. So in this, if you look at this line closely, so here, what is byte? What is my byte? What is the equal sign? What is 10? And what is the semicolon? So I want to store a value somewhere. That means first I need to declare a variable. So variable is the place where, so I have decided to store this number, which is 10, to a variable. So so let me write. Okay, before I write it down, try to understand what's going on here. So 10 is a value, and my byte is a variable. We are storing 10 inside of my byte. And in Java, there is no way you can declare a variable without this data type. So I am telling Java that, hey, store number 10 inside of my byte. But Java will ask, okay, can you tell me what is? So in that case, the data type of this variable, I'm saying, okay, so the data type exactly this line inside of IntelliJ, and let's say what happens. So we'll go back to IntelliJ, and wherever it says hello world at the end of the line, go to the end of the line and create some new line, and here exactly type the same byte, my byte equal 10. And I don't see any error here. No error is given. So what happened is I am storing this value inside of my byte. The reason I'm storing the value inside of my byte, so that whenever I need this number, I don't have to write 10 again and again. Instead, I'll simply call this variable to take action, to print my value. So let's test it. So now I want to print number 10 in my console. So how we can do that? System dot out dot println. Here, instead of writing 10, I will write my byte. And now I'm going to print it. So right click on hello world and then click run. And you can see that 10 is printed on the in the console. So you can try writing these two lines just to confirm that we are in the same page. So just declare a variable with the byte type and assign a value in it, and print print it using the actual variable. And once you run it, you will be able to see the number is printed on the console. So up to this point, do you have any questions?
Yeah, we are fine.
Okay. Please let me know. Stop me. Let me know if I'm too fast. Just let me know. If I'm too slow, also let me know. But I want you to understand these data types and all these statements.
Brother Adam, can we use Eclipse? Then this one it look like it's a little dark.
Okay.
I think we are
Yes,
majority using. Yeah, we are using an Eclipse.
Okay.
So.
Okay, yeah, you can use it on Eclipse, but do you want me to use Eclipse, or I can proceed in?
To me, yes, because we can see clearly if there is any question mark or error or anything in the line come off. So pinpoint, we can track that by line what is going on in the. But this is kind of dark board, so kind of.
No, I can change it to light, I believe.
Okay. Okay.
How about now?
Oh, this is good. Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
Now,
So if you want to make this mode in IntelliJ, just click on IntelliJ idea, go to preference, and in the first option it says appearance and behavior. Click there and click on appearance, and under theme, instead of Dracula, okay, instead of Dracula, just click on light and click OK, and you will be able. So this is, I believe, similar like Eclipse now.
yep.
Okay. So did you able to print the byte value on the console?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone else who did not able to print byte value on the console?
Yes, brother, I'm getting like error.
What's the question, Rabbi? Can you repeat that?
Yes, brother, I'm just getting error on this.
Okay. Um. All right. You should not have any error. Okay. Let me see your screen.
You can see my
So
screen.
at the end of, yeah, at the end of my byte, you should there should be a semicolon, and as I mentioned, these lines should be in, right after hello world. So you have just cut these two lines, copy these two lines right after hello world. Yes. Okay. And now at the end, um, insert two curly braces.
Insert word.
Okay. Click there. Okay. Press enter, and then curly brace. Yeah. And then one more curly brace. Yeah. Make a new line again. Okay. You're fine. So yeah. So now click at the end of line 7. Okay. And now press enter. Yeah. Press few more enters. Some more. Some more. Okay. Some more. Okay. So we are going to work here. Okay. So whenever I will tell something to write, you can write here. From yeah, just after here. I mean line 8. Okay.
Sure.
So now just print it. Let's see if your program is working. Right click on okay, run it. So and should be printed on your console. So you are good. Is there anyone else who needs help? Okay. I think you're good to go.
Brother Alam, one quick question. In the byte or car, is there any specific number of character or numeric value to be assignment there as a default? Let's say 1 byte or 8 byte. 8 byte has, is there any number of character assignment?
No. Okay. So let me explain that. I think you can see my screen now, right? Okay. So byte. So what byte can store? So byte can store from. Let me write it here. From negative 127 to negative. I mean positive 128. So you can store up these values inside of byte variable, and you cannot store anything else other than this.
Thank you.
So okay. So let's try to put 150 instead of 10. Instead of 10, 150. Actually it will take up to 128, I said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 128. So now you are having error because this is more than 128.
Right.
If you write 128, it's also having error. So you can have up to 127. So this should be 27. And the negative value, you can it can go up to 128. How about 129? No. So the negative is up to 128. So it can store up to 128. So this is the highest negative number you can store in byte variable, and this is the highest positive number you can store inside of a byte variable. Did I answer your question?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Okay. So now move back to move to a short. So short is same as byte, but it can store up to 16 bits. So in 16-bit, you can store. Why don't we open the Oracle documentation for the detail? Java primitive. So this is the Oracle documentation, and as we can see here, short can store from this value up to, this is the max value, and the minimum value is 32,768, and the max value is 32,767. So let me ping you this URL. So you, whenever you have any whenever you want to know more information, just refer to the Oracle Java documentation. You will find detailed information there. So why don't I ping this URL to you? Right. Once this, yeah. So the I pinged the URL there. You can have more information. So let's move to the other type. So now we are talking about short. So short can store from this value to this value. Now let's try to store a short value in our application. So far we have stored a byte value. We have printed that. Now we are trying to do the same for short. So I'm copying line 10, line 9 and 10, and paste it here. Instead of byte, now I am writing short, and I have to change the name of the variable. Just keep in mind that you cannot have two variables with the same name. So in one application, I mean, inside of one class, the variable name must be different. So I'm naming it with my short, and trying to keep a value there. Let's say 100, and I want to print that. And once I print it, and it's printed. So I have added, whenever you want to add one string inside of a println statement, it has to go within the quotation mark, just letting you know, and followed by a plus sign, followed by the whatever you want to print. So this is how it works. So I'm doing same for the short as well. And if I print now, it says the wide value is 128 and the short value is 100. So, so what is the difference between byte and short? If someone asks, you can simply tell that byte is 8-bit and short is 16-bit. And now you have knowledge why we have different types. Because if your application or if you want to store a value, so let's say you want to store, let's say age, um, uh, my age or your age. So you can simply write, declare a variable called age, and you can keep your age or my age there. Let's say I am keeping here 30, and now I can print my age. Now, what happens if you, instead of byte, you use short? You can also keep the make the age, but what's wrong with this? This is a bad programming practice. Why? Because you could have written short from your memory location. It took 16 bits. That means you are wasting memory for no reason. You know that by the age will never go beyond 100 or maybe 120 max. 125 is the max. It will never go like 300 or 400. So why should we waste memory using the short? So this is why there are different data types in Java, so that you can choose what kind of data type you should use, and you can save some memory from the memory location. All right, so now we have clear concept of byte and short. Now let's go to integer. So this is the most common variable or the primitive type you will see in whenever you see some code, Java code. This is the most common integer type that you will see. So this is 32 bits integer, and you can watch the documentation for the lowest and highest numbers. So now let's declare one integer and let's see if we can print it. So I'm doing the same, and instead of short, now I'm writing int, and I'm calling it my int. I'm keeping it, let's say 10,000, and now I want to print my int value. And let's go and print it. So as you can see, the int value is printed. So it has a 32-bit, and if you are confused what data type you should use in that time, just simply use int. This is the most frequent data type you will see in any Java code. So in our practice also, we'll often use int only instead of byte, short, and long. So similarly, now we have covered these four except long. Let's do it quickly. So long can store more digits, and let me print it. Long value is printed. Let's go to the Oracle documentation, and you can see that long can store actually from negative 2 to the power of 63 value is positive 2 to the power 63 minus 1. So it's a very big number you can store inside of long. And the float and double. So they are the decimal. You can use the decimal value inside float and double. Let me. So let's say if you see here, instead of in the integer value, if I try to use decimal 5, it's giving me error because you cannot use decimal value inside of int variable, and is saying int found double. So if I want to use double value, I have to declare either float or double. So float, let me write it down here. My float, it can be 1.1 or anything, any number that ends with the float. Second. Let's say 10 point. Right. So the float and the double. So double can have more decimal point after the actual value, and float will have the there is a limitation that how many decimal point you can have after the actual value. So, but keep in mind that a float value ending with um, a mandatory F, because that's how Java compiler recognized if it's a float value or double value. But let's not make it too complicated. I'm telling you what you have to understand and remember. So in here, the most important is integer and double. So these two variable types you will be using frequently. So what is why we are using the double value? Because the amount, let's say $5. I mean, for the amount variable, we will be always using double. There are so many other reasons we have to use double. The value that has possibility to have decimal value after the actual value, in that time we will be using double. Other than that, we will use integer only. And very rare time we will be using this kind of variable, which is byte, short, int, long, and float. And this four, the first four is referred by integer, and the last two are referred by the floating point. So this is pretty much it about the floating point and integer. Now let's move to Boolean and character. Before that, do you guys have any questions? Please ask me at this point.
Brother Alam, can you put the number as you did for byte and short, similar to it? This is a short note and it's going to be very useful. Please.
Sure, sure. So for integer, you can have from, actually I need the 8, okay.
Sorry about it. I know that we have to go all this.
That's fine, that's fine. That's fine. Please, yeah, please stop me and ask me, because the reason, the goal is at the end, you have to understand.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that's the whole purpose.
This shorthand will be very, very useful.
Yes. So this is this value to, this is the positive number. So this sign is often used for like to the power. Okay, and let's go to long now.
Why that sign using? Can you repeat that, please?
So this sign is for whenever we say 2 to the power 4, you can use this sign. But keep in mind that this is not Java sign. We use it in math or somewhere.
Okay.
We're not
What
using using this
represent?
in Java.
What representing exactly?
This?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see here? It says 2
Two.
to
Yeah.
the
Minus.
power 32.
Uh-huh.
So 32. So I mean 2 to the power 2 is what? Tell me. What is 2 to the power 2? Oh, okay. So like if I say 2 to the power 2, that means 2, um, we have to multiply 2 times, which is 4. So let's say if I say 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 3, what does that mean? That means 2, we have to multiply 2 3 times, which is what? Tell me what is the result of 2 multiply 2 multiply 2?
72.
No, the result is 8 because
Oh, okay.
2 multiply 2 is 4, 4 multiply 2
Oh,
is
okay.
8, right?
Yep.
So yeah, so this is this represent for whenever we want to say uh, the power of 2.
Very
So
good.
3 here, the 3 is the power of 2. All right. So
Thank you.
now,
Very clear. Very clear.
okay, no problem. All right, so let's finish it. So for long, now for float. Uh, Instead of writing this, simply remember that this is you can simply remember this 16-bit single Unicode character. Okay, so this is just for you. I mean, you don't have to remember this. All you have to, as I mentioned, you just have to remember this 8 types: byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char, and optionally you can remember how many bits it can store. And the last thing is, the most important part here is integer, which is int, and double. And the last two is also very important. So just don't get, too confused for this. I mean, you don't have to remember all this. Okay. So now, all right. So let's proceed on the last two data type, primitive data type of Java, which is Boolean and character. So now let's move to Boolean. So Boolean, as I mentioned here, a Boolean can take, it can be either true or false. It's just taking one single bit from memory location. So how does that work? Let's see here. All right. So if I want to declare a Boolean value, Boolean, let's say my Boolean equal. So here you have option to write either true or false, or some expression that return either true or false. You cannot put a number inside here. So it can be either true or it can be false. And if I write, if I want to print it now, the Boolean value is my Boolean. And if I print it, the false is printed since I have written false here. So this is static, but in the actual scenarios, you will see, like, for example, if I write 5 less than 6. So 5 less than 6, is it true or false? Can someone tell me? If I
True.
this, what? Okay, so what will be printed?
It will not print it because it's false.
5 less than 6 is false, right?
I mean 6 is not less than 5.
6 is not less than 5. Yeah, that is true. But in this expression, I have written 5 less than 6. So if I print now, what value it will be here? Okay, but what value I will see here?
True.
True?
Yes.
Okay. So let me check. True. Because 5 is less than 6, that means it's true. Okay, can someone else tell me that if I write 10 less than or greater than 1 plus 9. So if I print now, what will be printed? True or false? Can someone from any one of you can answer it?
False.
False? Okay, let me try. False. Can you explain why false is printed?
Because it's not greater than 10. So 1 plus 9 is equal to 10. So meaning 10 greater than 10. So it doesn't, the condition is false because 10 is usually equal to 10. It's not less than or it's not higher. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Okay, good job. Yeah, good explanation. Yes, so that's what it is. So this is how Boolean works. So in Boolean, it can be either true or false. So it's evaluate. So the whole expression is evaluating, and finally it will evaluate it either true and false, and that evaluation will be stored inside of this variable, which is my Boolean. And finally, we are printing my Boolean. All right, so I think the concept is clear for the Boolean for each one of you. Now I'm going to the character, but before I going to character, is there any other question from Boolean and the above six? Okay. If there is no question, let's move to character now. We call it char. You can call it char or character, but it's written as char. All right. So what char can store? So char. By the way, these are called variable. You can name it anything. You can call it XYZ, whatever you like. So variable is user defined tags. It can be anything, but just make sure that it should make sense. Whatever you are doing, it should have a good name. And also keep in mind that a variable always starts with a lowercase. So actually, before I forget, just note it down here. So variable name always start with a lowercase. If you write uppercase, you will not get an error. But this is a convention. These are called convention. Okay. And we also know that the class name always starts with uppercase. Okay. And we also know that the package name lowercase. So try to remember this. All right, so let's move to our original topic. I was explaining char. So char can store a single character, as I mentioned here. So char can don't no need to remember 16-bit right now. It can store a single character. Whenever we see character, so in Java these are called string. String is a sequence of letter. What is string? So string is sequence of letter. Let's say if I write MD alarm, so this is string. So there are multiple, there are more than one letter involved in this text. That means we can, if we want to store this, we have to keep inside of the string variable. Otherwise, the character is a single character. Let's say U can be a character. But in Java, whenever you want to declare a character, you have to declare it inside of a quotation mark. And remember that this is a single quotation, not double quotation. So character example. So this is one character. This is one character. Even though it's number, since we are keeping this inside of the character, the quotation mark, so it will become a character. And let's say 5. Let's say star. So these are all will be evaluated as character in Java. Can someone give me one more example of a character? Just want to make sure you understood this. Any one of you? about Rabbi, Sudeep?
Yeah, we can use
Zaki?
any kind. Yeah, you can any kind of character in the quotation, single quotation. Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you used a quotation mark, whatever you write inside of quotation, that will be a character. But keep in mind that you cannot write two digit. In that time, that will not be a character anymore. So that is the whole concept of character. So now, if I
So
want to, yes,
so like if I want to use one character, that time I have to use a single quotation. If I use more than one character, that time I have to use maybe double quotations. That's right.
exactly, you are correct. Whenever you want to write more than one character, you have to use instead of uh, character, you have to use string. Uh, but I did not started teaching string yet. But just to give you some idea, string is stored inside of the double quotation mark. So now you can keep anything here. Let's say MB alarm is a string. Let's say cyberbullion is a string. So, and it can have billions of or trillions of tags inside of double quotation mark that will be evaluated as a string. So that is the whole concept. Even though now, can someone tell me, um, can someone tell me that this is a string or is this a string? This exclamatory sign is a string or character? Can someone tell me?
Is character.
No, this is actually is wrong answer. This is not character because um, this is inside of double quotation mark.
Oh, inside of double character, anything, either it's a numeric value or alpha value, it will be represent as a string. What is it called?
String.
String, yeah, right. And
Yeah.
one question there. If it's a single character, you said we can have the single code, and if it's a more than one character, either number or character, we have to put the double code. But if it's a single one, can we use a double code in that case?
Yes, of course. You can have double quote. Even you can have like this double quote, and there is nothing. So in this case, this is empty string.
No, what I'm saying that let's say I'm gonna assign a single character in that with the double code, single string. Let's say one.
Yeah, we can use also a single character in double quotations maybe. But if we
Yes.
use
So
single
yes,
character, single quotation, that is the good.
so you are talking about line 85, right? It has a single character inside of double quote. So it
Yeah.
has value A inside of double quote, right?
Right.
So is this a string or character?
It's a string. Everything is
This
a
is a
single
string.
code, double code. I'm understanding that is a string. But my question is, can we use with the as you said, the single code? We can use single character. We can use a single code, and if it's a more than one, we have to use a double code. But I just wanna
Exactly.
I just want to be vice versa separation about if I use a single code, I mean double code with the single character. Is that be possible?
Double quote with single character. So this is 85, line 85, right?
Right. Is it
Yeah. So this is possible. Yeah,
right?
that is
Okay.
possible.
Okay. How
But
about
So
how
that
about
that means string. Yeah, if I use single character in the double quotation, that means string. If I use single character in the single quotation, that means character data type.
No, the question was, I just want to clarify. I understand that. Let's have single quote with the single character. So in that
Single
case,
quote, single
single quote,
character. Okay.
yeah, single quote, single character. So and it must be if it's more than one character, we have to use a double quote, right?
More than one character, you must use a double quote. Yes.
Right. I'm clear now.
Okay. Yeah, more than one character, you must use a double quote. And yeah, remember that. Also remember that you can have also empty string. So whenever you see double quote, that means it's a string. No matter how many characters it has, it can have. Let's say in this number 82, it has how many characters there are in line number 82? Can someone tell me?
It has a 7 in it.
7. Can you explain?
MD is M is the number one, number two D, and the space is the number 3, and A is the number.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So that was the checkpoint. So a space is also one character. So in this line number 82, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. If we see line number 87, it has one character. Still, this is a string because it has the double quotation mark at the beginning and at the end. And in line number 87, if you see, it also has no character inside, but still this is a string because it started with a quotation mark and ended with the double quotation mark. So even though it has nothing inside, we have to call it empty string. And if we write, let's say, can someone tell me, is this string or character? Line number 87.
I think this
String.
is string.
String.
Yeah, it's string too. Yeah, because it has a space inside, which is one character, but we have used double quotation mark for this. That's the reason this is string. Right, so I think the concept is clear for the character and string. So now let's go back. Did we print anything for? I'm sorry. Is there any question?
No, I'm just like asking. Can you just like explain like one more time about the character? Because like I can see that one like you just like type down like 74 or 75th. Like it could be like a U or either like a number. Like doesn't matter.
Oh, so yeah. So character is a 16-bit Unicode. So it doesn't matter what you are putting inside that. So there are, I believe, like 3 or 4,000 characters in total. It has like 26 countries language like the Chinese and all. So all those, even the Bengali characters, you can put inside of this. So it can the concept is it cannot take more than one digit. That is the concept. So anything inside the quotation mark has to be, the single quotation mark cannot be more than one digit. So in this case, if you can see, let me take this off. So A is one character, but this is wrong. Similarly, we can use like this is also a character. This is also a character. But if I write 1.1, that is wrong because it has 3 digits, which is wrong. I cannot put more than one digit. But if I put the decimal point here, this is a valid character because I have only one digit inside or one character inside. And give you more example. Let's say and sign. This is one
Like
digit.
that's gonna be also like a character.
I'm sorry, was that?
So if I just like like made a space, that's it. Like not I mean I just don't want to put anything. That's gonna be also like a character, like only space.
Yeah, yeah. Space is also a character.
Okay, all right.
For that, you should also see. You guys can also see the Unicode um, ASCII character called Java ASCII set. Please, 1 second. So for a space, it use, yeah. So as you can see here, so you can see there is nothing. This is a space, and 32 is the decimal value. Let's not go to that far, but this is just for you have an idea about what you can put inside of ASCII character. I mean the character variable, but you can insert more than this inside of ASCII character now, because before it was only 8 byte. Whenever if we would use 8, let me go here. So this is 16 bit, right? So inside, if we make it 8 bit, then you can only this character you can insert. I mean insert inside of ASCII character. Now since we have 16 bit, as I mentioned, you can write like more than 4 or 5,000 value inside of ASCII character. So that is the concept. Did I answer your question?
Yes, brother.
Okay, thank you. So, all right, so let's proceed and give you one example for character variable. So char, my char equal. So right now here I have to use, okay, my keywords, okay, pointer. Is something wrong with my keyboard? And 1 second. All right. So now, if I write a, that will be evaluated as a character. So we can try any of this. Let's say this here. Let's see if that is evaluated or not. Yes, it's evaluating. So simply we can put just one character inside of my char, and when we print it, it will be printed. So as you can see, it's printed here. So what time we should use character? Let's say you are making one application. It asks for there is a question. It asks enter your gender. So user need to enter either male or female. So in that case, you just need a single character, right? Male or female. In that case, string, instead of using string, you should use character, since it's not taking more than one character. So I can tell here like gender equal the actual gender. Then if I print gender, it will be printed. So that is the concept of character, and I hope all of you now have clear idea about Java type. So we have covered primitive type of Java. Reference type will come after explaining the statement and the object and class. So it's like after, like, let's say after 2 weeks, we will start explaining what is reference type. So is there any question from any one of you who has still doubt or confusion about Java primitive type?
I am good with that.
Okay. Is everyone good with this? Anyone else? Okay. So if not, now let's move to the statement, Java statement. So now in Java statement, there are three kinds of statement in Java. One is called expression statement. Then the second is declaration and control flow. So let's start with expression, declaration, declare a variable by type. Okay. So let's start with the declaration statement. So the definition of it is declare a variable by specifying its data type and name. So what does that mean? So declaration. So let's go back to Eclipse. Keep this as a note, declaration statement. And please note that whenever we use double forward slash, anything you write after double forward slash, so in the compiler, when it will parse, this will be ignored. So you can keep your note here after inserting two forward slash. So if we print it now, my program is perfectly working and no errors because this line was ignored. So this is how we comment in Java. And there are two others commenting style, but going forward, I will explain about commenting more. But for now, keep in mind that if you write anything after double quotation mark, so on that line number 34 will be ignored during execution. That what you have to understand and remember. So now let's say declare. I'm just taking this note here. It got error because this is not the code. So and then I'm inserting two double quotation. I mean the forward slash, and now the error gone. And we can keep this as note. Now I'm going to explain what is declaration statement. Declaration statement means if we want to, we already have seen this kind of line. Now I'm going to explain what's going on. So if I write, let's say int or int, let's say amount equal 1000. So it says declare a variable. So we have declared a variable which is amount. So it says declare a variable, and this is the name of the variable. And by specifying its data, so the data is 1000 and the name. So here we are declaring a variable by its data type and name. So here the data type is int. As I mentioned, that int is a primitive type of Java. So data type is int. The name is amount, and the actual value is 1000. So that is the concept of the declaration statement. What's the declaration? Declare a variable by specifying is data and actually, you know what? Let me explain you one more time. Um, even though you write in this way, let me copy this line and insert it here. Amount to. If you even do not write this, this can also be a part of declaration statement because you have declared a variable which is amount to by specifying its data type and data name. So here the data type is int and the name is amount to. So just forget whatever I mentioned before. Um, the right statement is this can be a declaration statement. So what
Sorry,
declaration?
sorry, one thing, like
Yes.
you write down integer amount equal to 1000. So here 1000 is like a value, like আমি বাংলাতে বলতেছি যেমন এটা হচ্ছে 1000 যেটা সেটা হচ্ছে আপনার সংখ্যা এবং এটা ডাটা টাইপ হচ্ছে ইন্টিজার, সংখ্যা দেখে ইন্টিজার আসছে, আর ভেরিয়েবল যেটা অ্যামাউন্ট, তো লাইক s ইকুয়াল টু 1000 অর্থাৎ x এর মান হচ্ছে 1000 কিন্তু 1000 টা হচ্ছে সংখ্যা, এই জন্য আমরা ইন্টিজার দিলাম। দ্যাটস এটা এরকমই তো, তাই না?
Yeah, yes, you are right, but I just want to mention one more thing is since we are explaining declaration statement, it is not necessary to have the actual value. So that's the reason. Okay, so let me take it off. I'm trying to explain what is declaration statement. So declaration statement is you must have a data type and the name of the variable. So this is called declaration statement. So can someone else give me another example of declaration statement? So it will have a variable type and a variable name.
Okay, integer int abc equal 5.
It
Or
is not
yeah, or
necessary
semicolon,
to
yeah, or a semicolon, yeah.
okay. So can someone else give me one more example without using int type?
So
String.
string
String.
s আবার হতে হবে string, like name, any kind of name, amount, name equal
It is not
semicolon,
necessary to
yeah,
give the
semicolon, yeah,
value.
yeah, semicolon.
Okay.
That's it.
Can someone else, one more person, just give me one example without using int and string? Is there any like
Yeah,
if no one
Boolean.
responds, then okay,
Boolean.
Boolean, okay,
Flag. FLAG.
FLAG,
Yeah, that's
and
it.
then
That's it.
um I'm having error here.
Oh, then equal to
Semicolon, right? Okay, so now there are no error. Okay, so this is okay, thank you. So I think now all of you has clear idea about the declaration statement. So what we are doing here, we are um, we are declaring a variable with its data type. So what is the reason of declaring? Because maybe I don't know the name yet. That's the reason I am not providing the name now. So at the beginning of the program, I am writing the name. Remember, we did the yesterday. We made an application that take numbers from users. In that time also, we declared int number and then semicolon, and we did not insert any value because we don't know yet what value user will give to the application. So whenever the value is unknown, in that time, you just declare a variable in this way. So that is the part of the declaration statement. So here are 4 examples of declaration statement. These are 4 examples of the declaration statement. So is there any question from anyone else about declaration statement? This is the time to ask. If you do not understand, please ask me. I will explain more. But I want you all to understand.
Brother, what would be the name of when you are already assigning that value? Now we have not yet.
Brother, can you please explain again the declaration statement?
Okay, you want me to explain again? You said?
Yeah.
Sure. So declaration statement will have basically 2 things. First, the type of the variable, and second, the type.
Brother, sorry to interrupt you. But if you just say like the same thing like in Bangla, that's gonna be like more, like easier for you, like us, because all of we like Bengali, and like I believe like that's gonna be like more, like easier way.
Okay, let me explain you why this is not a good approach. Because like 70% of the word are English, first of all. Second is, if you want to explain the same thing to someone else, you have to explain in the same way I'm explaining you. So it's very good for you if you try to understand whatever I'm explaining. Because if you give an interview, if you, in future you have to explain in the same way. So you must be familiar with this. I'm here to explain you again and again. Even if you do not understand this, I will spend next 1 hour to make you understand. But that is not a good approach if I use any other language other than English. But yes, we have a group discussion and the homework session. You are welcome to use any language you want. But here from the administration, I have told that to use the English language. So I'm sorry for that, but I'm also telling that that is a bad approach if I use any other language. But just try to understand what I'm saying. You have to explain to your interviewer or someone else in the same way I'm explaining. So it's good for you. And also, all the words are already in English. See, here I cannot make Bengali of Boolean flag. So these are statements. So it's hard to make it. Make it Bengali and explain it to you guys. So
Well,
I can explain it again and again. Try to understand.
yeah, one thing I would like to tell all of you, this is actually international course. So from all over the world, they connected with this course. So initially it's a few people, but eventually it will come up. And so now we have to follow the standard. That way we have to, uh, instruct the course. And Alam said it's by the administrator. He has permission to teach in English. That's the one way standard we can follow. But if you have any problem, difficulties, definitely when you go for one by one session, 1-to-1 session, then we'll explain you better way, either in Bengali little or English, whatever is convenient for you. There should be 1-to-1 session. We will try to make you understand. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah.
I think we are fine with that in the group session. Just note of it what you have something is not understandable, and we can discuss our own language within the group and or after the class or off the class or anytime 1-to-1 we can call someone saying that okay, Mr. Alam it's explaining this way, and can you more clarify on that in my own language. So we can go in one by one as a group session. So that will be. And also, what most important is just focus on the class, not to do anything, and then review. While reviewing the videos again, it will be actually 99.9%. It's understandable. If you're repeating again and again, you will be easy to understand everything. In the first shot, it's hard to understand. Just focus on the class, and we'll practice after that, and we can have all together, and we can discuss in our own language and see each other, because someone might be understanding more and someone is less. I am also same thing. Someone is understanding more than me, and I'm in the middle or maybe less. So I just keep aside of some for someone. Okay, this question I have it, and after the class I can ask someone else. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, Burhan and Abdul, for your explanation. So yes, outside of the class, we have opened two group sessions, 2 hours each week, and we also have a homework session of 2 hours. So we have 6 hours there every week. Other than that, if anyone else need one-on-one session also, please let us know. We'll schedule that, and we will treat with you however you want. Just focus on this class and just proceed. And I believe all of you will be fine. Thank you. So now let's move to the actual topic. So I believe the question came from Rabbi. So let me explain you one more time. Actually, all of you, what is a declaration statement? So declaration statement has two things. First, the type of the variable, and second, actually, let me write this not here but here. Okay.
And
So I was
type of the variable is as you wrote that int is a type of the variable, and the variable is what is you are assigning at the end, right?
exactly. But declaration statement, we don't no need to write any value.
Yeah, right. Not value, but it's a okay string name. String is a type of Java type, and the name is assigning the variable.
Very exactly, yes. So now declaration statement, it has number one, the type of a variable. Number two, the actual variable, the variable name, or okay. Now give me one example, or so let me give you one example. So int I, is this a declaration statement?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because we are declaring
There are data class and
a
variable.
value. Okay. So what is in here? Int is the type. That type. Int is the type, right? From where it came from? It came from the, let's see, Java type, primitive type, int, right? This is from where it is coming. Okay. So I have int here. The requirement is fulfilled for this. Second, I'm saying the variable name, which is in this case I. So this is then a declaration statement. What we are doing here, we are declaring a variable with a proper data type. I think it is clear now to all of you. If not, again, please ask me. All right. So now, if the declaration statement is clear, let me give you one more example here. String f is also an example of declaration variable. Float f, a declaration statement. Then let's say short something. This is also a declaration statement. So these are all example of declaration statement. Now let's move to the next topic. The next topic is we came up to this point. We are explaining Java statement, and we are done with declaration statement. Now let's move to the expression statement. So first of all, what is expression statement? So the definition is assigned to a variable which evaluate a single value, right? So let's see what's going on. Let's go back to Eclipse. So here, if I say int amount equal, let's say 100, assigned to a variable which evaluate a single value. So here, the first part is same as the declaration statement. So additionally, what we are doing here is we are assigning a value into a variable. So what is this sign? So this is assignment operator. Today, if time permits, I am also explaining the operators that is listed here, Java operator. But for now, just understand that this sign is called the assignment operator. So what we can do using this assignment operator? What happened to my keyboard again? Okay. Sorry for that. Okay. So here, what we are doing here. So this using this assignment operator, I am assigning this value into this variable. I'm repeating again. Using this assignment operator, I am assigning this value inside of this variable. So here, what is int, what is amount, what is equal sign, and what is 100? Can someone tell me what is int here?
Int is a data type. Amount is a variable name.
Exactly.
And
Sorry,
100
int is a data type.
100 is a value, assigning value.
Amount is what? I'm sorry. What is amount?
Amount is a variable name.
Variable name. Excellent. Okay.
And
then?
And 100 is assigning value. Variable.
No. What is okay? Int amount. Then we have a equal sign, right?
Oh, okay. It's assigning.
It's operator.
Yeah.
Equivalence operator.
Okay. Operator.
Yeah.
Operator.
Assignment operator.
Okay. And what is 100? Yeah. Thank you. And what is 100?
It's a value of
value.
Yeah. Value.
Yeah. Below. Yeah.
What is semicolon?
Operator. It's assigning operator.
No, this is called statement.
Semicolon. Oh, okay. Semicolon is a statement, ending a statement.
Ending a statement, right? So, and what we are doing here, we are assigning a value using assignment operator into a variable using the proper data type. So this is what it is. This expression statement is doing. Now, can someone give me one example of expression statement using a different data type?
String, name equal Bangladesh in the double quotation.
Right.
End of the statement we have to use semicolon. Okay. So here string is data type and name is variable and Bangladesh is value.
How about the equal sign?
Equal is operator as a main operator.
Okay, excellent. All right. So can someone tell me why I'm having error here?
Uh, because this name uh, already have, so that's why. So we have to use name once.
Name one.
Name one. Yeah.
Excellent. So the reason was I have used the same name, same variable name somewhere else. See,
Yeah.
here I
Yeah.
already used, right?
Name should
So
be
that's the reason.
unique. Yeah. Name should be unique.
Name should be unique, exactly. So you cannot use one variable, you cannot declare one variable more than one time in one scope. So that is the concept. So now I believe, is there any question from expression statement?
Yes, you already show us primitive data type. You told me there is like 8 primitive data type, like integer, short, byte, but all of the primitive data type starts with lowercase without string. So string comes uppercase. So that is like conventions we need to know about that, or why strings comes uppercase.
Okay, so it's a very, very good question. Thank you for asking. It's a good question. All right, so let's go back to the data type. So here, after primitive type, let's write um, actually give 3 stars first, then write the string. Okay, so is string is a special primitive type in Java. So before a string, I'm saying a special. Why I'm using a special? Because it treated as a primitive type, but it is not a primitive type. The string is a class of Java, and as I mentioned somewhere, class name always starts with a uppercase letter. So string is actually a class. It's not a primitive data type, but it's a special primitive data type in Java because it treated as primitive data type because it store its value to its memory to a fixed location. But you do not have to understand that right now. All you have to understand or remember is that string is a special primitive type of Java, and string is a class of Java. That's all you have to remember right now. Is that okay? So I can make a note here.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So you have a note here. All right. So so these we can, if you need this, we can keep this here as a note somewhere so that you have it. Now let's go back to our original topic. I was explaining. So we are done with declaration statement and we are done with expression statement. Okay. So Now let's move to control flow statement. Is there any confusion to any one of you about 1 and 2? Now we will move to 3. Before I move to 3, I want to know any one of you if you have any confusion, any kind of confusion in declaration and the expression statement. If you still have confusion, I can go over again, or else I'll move to control flow.
Alam bhai, whatever you make note in your notepad after being class, please send to us.
Yesterday, did you receive the yesterday's note?
Yeah, brother Alam, we received the note, but there are some reason the contact informations and the email IDs, phone number. Some reason was might be I didn't see it, so I don't know. In the blackboard, initially you are stating everything like who is going to be support, their numbers, email IDs, all those.
Yeah,
So
everything.
some reason
It's bad.
He was not there.
But that's bad. I should be there. Let me check because that is very important.
Yeah, maybe I missed that or I don't know. So.
Okay, so let me check it right now. Everything should be there. If not, we have to fix it because I want each one of you to have access at the end of the class of this note so that you can go through it. That is the reason I'm using this Blackboard system. So work CV course material. You have access to this and the class note. So this is what I posted yesterday. But I can see the contact here.
You see that? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see that. Let me see. Is that the beginning? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see that. Please go back again. Let me see where you put this document.
Okay. So.
Yeah,
so
meanwhile, brother.
Click,
go ahead.
If you click on shared with me on your Google Drive, you will able to see one folder called CV course material. So double click on CV course material and you will able to see these 7 folders or directories. So inside of these 7 directories, if you click on class note, you will be able to see the yesterday's class note, and the name is designed to have the date at the end of the name.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Because
Thank you.
there is in my folder there is a lot of folder like before I attend in manual class. So about the same thing, a lot of folder. So that's why I was confused which folder actually came from you.
Okay, okay. So just remember that the name will be CB course material. Can you see it? CB course material.
Yeah, now I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
And brother Alam, one more question. Yeah, I see that actually your contact information, because while you were writing in the blackboard, you were initially stated in the top, so I was looking in the top. So, but I look like something in the middle there. Contact information. Thank you so much. And also remember, you told me that there is a assignment folder you're going to be created.
Yeah, so that is I have created that yesterday. So let me, since I'm here, let me explain you again. So if you double click on the CV course material, inside of the homework folder, you will able to see the homework. So this is homework.
Yeah.
So that I posted yesterday.
Oh, okay. And what is the assignment?
And for the submission, so outside of CV course material, you will see another directory called CV submission. You can check now, please, so that you will have no confusion. So just click on shared with me, and you will able to see two directories from me. One is called CV course material, another one is called CV submission.
Okay, CV submissions. We see that
Actually, actually, what's your name again? Sorry.
Abdul Hazard. Maybe we see the CV Abdul Hazard.
Actually, yes, not CV submission. You will be able to see CV Abdul Azad.
Okay, I got you. Okay, yeah, I loaded there actually,
So,
but I was confused a little bit. Where is the submission? Maybe I am putting in the wrong folder.
oh, okay, yeah, I can see your submission right now.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. You're welcome. But Mr. Burhanuddin, he gonna review all of your submission and will provide feedback. And Abdul Sajad, right? So like Khalil still did not submit anything, or Mahabub. Okay, so each one of you will be able to see two folders. One is CV course material, another one is not CV submission actually. CV, starting with CV, followed by your first name and followed by your last name. Can all of you see this?
Can you check my one, Nijam? Under the Nijam folder, yeah, first row on the bottom, that is Nazma, not that one. Yeah, on the left, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you also have submitted the homework. So yeah, so this is designed in such a way that no one can see no one's directory. You only have access to your directory, and you can submit your assignment. And inside of course material, you cannot submit anything even though you want, because this is designed to read only and download only. But you have permission to download your any documents from here. And the class recording, inside of class recording, you will have one file that will be listed the download URL. You will be able to watch it, but you won't be able to download it. So that's how it's designed. So this is the overall structure of the Google Drive. Is there any other questions from here?
Brother Alam, is there be possible to put the recording into the cyberbullion where all other you can put separate folder for us, Java classes or Selenium classes? So that will be
that is easier also, since yeah, we can do that if you definitely want, but the way it was designed,
this is also good. I don't have any problem, but
main thing is there is a lot of folder. There is a lot of folder, and all of the folder names come cyberbullion CV. So if you write like Java, so that time, because always I was confusion.
Okay, so let's make a change now. Okay, so CV recording, right? Not recording. You see CV course material. So instead of CV course material,
Java,
you'll see as that after CV.
Yeah. It's fine.
How about this? It's good now?
It's good.
Okay. So also
put some cyber security, because we have many. Put some cyber security.
What's that? Cyber security?
Yeah. So we can namingly identify that. Okay,
right.
This belongs to cyber security.
All right. So yeah. So as that is added after CV, and I can make this change as well if you want. So you will able to see two directories only. One is course material, another one is CV, followed by your first name, last name. But let's add as that after this. I have a few others, and I think I'm done. Stat, am I missing anyone? No, I'm all done. So, so now you will able to see only two directories if you click on the shared with me. So two directories from my side you will see. One is called CB as that course material. Another one is called CB underscore as that underscore followed by your first name and last name. Is that okay? Do you guys want me to change any other thing?
Oh, now it's okay.
Okay. You can see the change right now, right, in your shared folder.
Yeah, yeah, already it has changed.
Okay. All right. So that's fine. Now let's move back to our topics. We were discussing. Um, so now we'll move to control flow. We have completed expression and declaration, and this is should be very clear right by now. Um, the recording will also be there. The group session will also be there. If you guys still have confusion about expression and declaration, we can go by it again and again. So don't worry. So now we'll move to control flow statement. But before we move to control flow, let's take a break. Our long break that we're supposed to take. So I think it's a good time because once we start control flow, we have to spend some time. So why don't we take a half an hour break? It's 1:30 now, so come back at 2 and we'll go from there. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, I am fine. Thank you. Thank you, Alon.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you. Hi, welcome back. Can someone please confirm that you can hear me or see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we see you.
So, so before the break, we have explained Java statements of expression and declaration, and we have given some example. So now, before move to about Java operator, that was a part of discussion, and at the by the end of this session, we will try our best to show at least how if statement works. So if you want to know about
We can see your screen. I think he has to be re-log in or refresh somehow.
Zakir, you have to refresh from upper left corner. So maybe that will be fine.
okay. So very good, Rakesh. Can you see my screen now? I believe he logged out and trying to log in. Right. So let's proceed. Um, so we are discussing about Java operator. So if you open the Oracle documentation,